everyone, this is Sarah.
And this is Johannes.
And you are watching Board Gaming Ramblings.
And welcome to Rambling Reviews, where we are gonna do more than one review in a single video.
Yes.
That's crazy. So this is gonna be like a new series we're gonna do from time to time, and we have games that we want to review, and we're gonna do more of them in one video. So today we're gonna do 4 reviews in a single video.
Yeah, let's do it.
That's crazy. You heard correctly. That's 4 the content in a day. Wow.
That's insane.
That's insane.
Or is it?
Let's see how it is.
Yeah.
Let's get to it.
Yeah.
We're going to start off with the first game on the pile, which is here to my right. And the first game is this game right here called Bosk.
Bosk.
You probably won't be as surprised because we already had it also on the screen and thumbnail.
That's
so
true.
It's going to be like, ooh, what is the first game? And you're going to be like, it's one of these. Yeah, you know it. So this is Bosk. It's from Floodgate Games. And this is a 2 to 4 player game. Abstract game.
Yeah, it
basically, where you are playing the trees, I guess. You're playing the trees of the forest. You're planting the trees, or you are the trees, I think. And then the leaves are falling off, and you are scoring in different ways. You're playing 4 seasons, basically. The first season, you are playing a line majority game where you are placing a tree. You have different trees with different values. You're placing them on different spots, and then when everybody has placed all their trees, then you play the next season, which is the scoring of that, where you see the numbers on each line, and you score points if you have the majority, and so on. And then all the trees are gonna be fall, and the leaves are gonna fall, and you wanna try to let the leaves fall in the right direction so that they end up covering different kind of areas on the board, and then you're gonna end in winter where you're going to score for majorities in the different areas. So it's basically a majority game in 2 different versions. So that's a brief overview of how to play or what you do in Bosk. So what did you think of Bosk?
What I really like about Bosk is that the theme actually makes so much sense here. It looks beautiful on the table with the trees and the leaves and all the vibrant colors that like covers all of the playfield. I really like that the first half you really want to get that majority, but you also need to think ahead. And I maybe think that like my number 2 trees, they should be like in each corner, so I have some like freedom to make the trees flow in some directions that I really like. So I like the balancing between those 2.
Yeah, because when you go for the fall, when the leaves are falling, the player with the least points is going to choose where this tile is going to be placed on one of the sides, and then it says which way the different trees have to fall their leaves, basically. And you choose a number of leaves that you want to remove from that tree in that direction, and basically that's kind of a thing I don't like, that, or I don't like too much, because you can, if you have the least points, it's basically kind of good to have the least points, because you can then screw up other players by turning that, but it hadn't really changed the game so much.
No, I think it makes the puzzle more exciting, that you don't know which way things are going to blow, because then you think, okay, I really want to go to get the majority on that line with my number 4 tree, but then it's really close to my other number 4 tree. That's bad, because if I get like a really bad direction, that it could give me like so few leaves. I don't know. I really like that, actually.
Yeah, so but I think this game it's not amazing, but I think I liked it more than you, because you didn't like it too much.
I think it's clever. I think the theme is good, but it doesn't capture me in any way.
I like the way that it's an abstract game where you have this kind of, I like the way they did it where you have 2 distinct ways of playing, but the first part kind of sets up to the second part. I really enjoyed that. I think maybe with 4 players it's a bit too long. It takes a bit over an hour, which feels a bit too much. I think 2 players would be pretty decent, because it goes like bam, 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 like abstract games. I feel like most abstract games are best with 2. So this as well, I think we didn't play it with 2, but I think it would be best with 2. But then again, we didn't really feel the need to play it more, so it wasn't a game that really... it's a fine game. I think it's absolutely a fine game, but there wasn't anything that grabbed my attention and made me want to play it more. But I think I liked it more than you did.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think 2 and 3 would both be good. What I like about having a third player is that there's more... it's not like you have the you have more areas than me.
Yeah, because it's a area majority game,
Yeah.
and those are usually better with more players,
players.
and abstract games are usually better with less
Yeah.
players. It's kind of a mix there, but it is a solid game.
It is.
And I like the look of it. So if like I would rather play this than photosynthesis.
Yeah.
Because that is kind of like the same kind of game where you have it's an abstract game with the same theme. That's why it's easy to
like compare them.
compare. That was the word I was looking for. Compare them. But
It could be a lot of things.
I like this better.
Yeah.
But it's still not a game I will pick to play, and I don't think it's a game we're gonna keep.
No, I don't think so. But I think that if you like family style abstract with actually a nice looking theme, this might be worth checking out.
Because it is a solid game. There's nothing wrong with the gameplay.
No.
Like, it's not like it feels like, oh, this is bad or something like that. It works really well.
Yeah.
It just didn't grab me too much.
Yeah, I agree with you. There are so many other games. That's like a nice excuse to have. But yeah, it didn't grab me, and I'll not miss it.
No, so I'm going to rate this a 6. It is good, but nothing amazing.
Yeah, I'm also gonna rate it a 6.
Okay, so that is Bosk.
Yeah.
Let's get to the next one. It's another nature-themed game.
Yeah, it is.
It's not trees, it's butterflies. So this is not a surprise anymore now because you've already seen it. I always forget that. It's a Papillon. This is from Colossal Games. This is another area majority game, basically.
Yeah.
But it's a kind of a mixture between a tile-laying game, kind of like Carcassonne, where you try to finish different areas, and then when you finish an area of flowers, you'll be able to put a butterfly on that kind of flower, and at the end of the game, the players who have the most butterflies on the different flowers will get points. First, second, and third place, and also you'll get points for your areas in different ways where you have your butterflies on the tiles as well. Yeah. So it is a mixture of like an auction game, because you bid for turn order, like it's a bidding for turn order, then you draft some tiles, then you place the tiles, and then you might put butterflies on the flowers.
Yeah.
And that's basically it. So what did you think of Papillon?
What I really like about Papillon is like placing out these little tiles and trying to make you want to finish your areas, but you also want to make them kind of big, so you get like more points for them in the on the game.
Yeah, because you score also for some of the things you made. Yeah,
but you also want to finish them, so that, and also the bidding of the turn order I think is really nice here, because you can like, oh, I'm not gonna bid anything, and then you're actually going to get points.
Yeah, because you bid with caterpillars, which are points. So you
Yeah.
bid with your points to be able to get more tiles, basically.
Yes, and so you have to like balance when do you think the pieces are so good that you need to spend the points to get them, but more tiles will be nice to have anyways.
Yeah.
So, but I think it's the bidding for the turn order can be actually a little predictable, because if you like, oh, I'm going last this time, you could be really sure that you can afford to go first the other time. Yeah, I don't know.
I think it works really well, like the bidding here. I think also I agree with you. The most interesting part is building that thing. And I like this. I actually think I enjoy tile-laying games quite a bit, like doing that puzzle of doing that. Doing the puzzle of doing that. That's a great, you can quote that.
Yes.
I think they would do that. Doing the puzzle of doing that. Make no sense.
Put it on the back of the box.
Yes.
Board Gaming Ramblings.
Doing the stuff of doing that. Okay. But I like puzzling together those tiles. I enjoy that quite a bit. The game, like the thing that destroys the game, the thing that takes the game from, it could have been a decent gateway style game, is the components.
Yeah.
Which are trash. Sorry, but they are trash.
What I don't like about it is the components. Yeah, and I feel like this people have spoken so warmly about the look of Papillon, because from the picture you see of it, it looks amazing.
Yes.
And we took some picture of it, and it looks quite nice. But when you're like clipping these like flimsy butterflies,
because
some were broken when we
tell
got
them
it.
I should tell them how it works.
What do you call it?
I don't know. I don't remember what it's called in English. I have no idea what it's called in English.
I have no.
But it's these things that you use on your clothes on a clothesline.
Yeah.
I know what it's called in Norwegian. No idea what that is. Somebody will already have been commenting that.
Yep.
But the thing is, That yeah, I wasn't like meaning. I just wanted to explain how it
Yeah.
was. It's 3D flowers
Yeah.
that you put together, and
You
it doesn't really
clip
work.
your
But the 3D flowers doesn't work. Like some of them that's supposed to go somewhere that's too small, so that
yeah.
doesn't work to put them
It fell
together,
to
and
fell
it
apart
fell apart.
and
It broke. I know
and
I
it
said it was trash. I didn't really mean that. It was kind of exaggeration, but it's just
I
the things that
expected more.
yeah, the things I liked about the game was kind of destroyed by then, like the butterflies broke, they
Yeah.
fell off the thing I don't remember the name of, the clothing line thing. No idea. That's the first time I've been like, I don't think I've ever heard that word in English, like
No, I
because there
don't think
wouldn't be
so.
a reason for me to hear that word. It's called krype in Norwegian. So
Klesklype.
kleskrype, yes. So that makes a lot of sense. Put that in Google Translate. But they break off just, and it doesn't look so
And
well.
the flowers just like fell off when we tried to clip the
Yeah, but that's
butterflies on
because it's
them.
not big enough to go on them. Uh, but I think and it's sad because the tiling, the drafting, that works pretty well,
Yeah.
and it goes pretty quickly. It's a pretty quick game, 8 rounds, pretty smooth game. But the component that was supposed to look cool and around the table is just making it less enjoyable to play.
Yeah, I agree. I don't think the game in itself is amazing.
I enjoyed it.
Even if the flowers were like crappy, I wouldn't like love the game to bits. But I think they should either they should have upped the quality and just like have really nice like what I was expecting they would have like 3D standees that would actually work and look amazing, or they should have like a flower cardboard thingy that you can
Just
put
put
your
them on, yeah.
choose. You have to choose. Don't
Yeah,
do the
I
thing
think
in the
I think
middle.
they tried to do
Doesn't
them.
work.
I think they tried to make them work, and it's different, and they tried something else, and it didn't really work production wise.
like it.
But I enjoy the game. I think I like the game more than you here as
Yeah.
well. I enjoy the gameplay quite a bit. Sometimes it might feel like, yeah, like you said, the drafting is going to be like you go first and I go last and that. But sometimes I will try to bid in a bit extra because there's some tiles I need.
Yeah.
But I like the puzzle of that. But it's not something amazing. And if it had, I think that if it had been good component quality, this could be a great mix
Yeah, I
of
agree.
a gateway,
Yes.
a real majority, and also a tile laying game with
Yeah.
simple rules. But because of those component issues, I really cannot recommend the game.
Nah.
So should we rate it?
Yeah, we should.
What do you want to rate it?
I want to rate it a 5. And yeah, I think that actually the production quality drags it down a whole point or
Yeah.
something.
So you feel like the gameplay is kind of a 6,
Yeah.
but then
Yes.
I think I'm gonna give it a 6. I like the gameplay quite a bit, but the component is not good. So you can listen to her when it comes to the rating of the components. But I think the gameplay is good enough, but nothing amazing. And because of the component quality, not a game I can recommend.
Yeah,
So that is Papillon.
yeah.
Next up, we have this game right here, which you probably have no idea what it's called because it's impossible to read on the box. But it's called The Towers of Amharb, which is, I was like, what is this name? But then I heard what it actually is, because if you take it backwards, it's also Srevut, but that's towers backwards. That's not
Yeah.
actually the thing that should be backwards, but it's Towers of Brahma, which is a logic puzzle where you have these three, you have three, I don't know what
Pillars.
pillars, yeah, with discs that you move around, and you want to move everyone from one side to the others, and there's the small one, larger, larger, and larger, and you can only put the largers or the smaller on top of the larger, and
Yeah.
so on. And this is an abstract game based on that. When I read that, I was like, that's cool,
Yeah.
because that's a pure thing you're doing in this game. On your turn, you have 4 spaces in front of you, and you have to move the top disc of one of your piles. And of course, you have to follow the rules. You have to move the one that's on top, and you can only put it on something that's bigger than it. And where you land it, then you can do an action on that row. And that action is going to be put out the cultist. And you put out the cultist either like a small cultist or a big cultist, and you're trying to put them around being adjacent to shrines so that they can be the ones to summon their great god. It's kind of like a funny tongue-in-cheek kind of take on the Cthulhu
Yeah.
genre, because they're like, you can be up to 4 different cults in here trying to wake up their god. And I love the theme here. It's just wacky and strange.
Yeah.
And you have all the different gods have different powers. So when you put out the cultist, you'll probably get a disc with different symbols. And if you have, I think there's three
Three.
of the same one, you can then do a special ability of your god. And that is basically the game. After you have put out all of your dudes, you're gonna see the big dudes are worth 3, or cultists, sorry, are worth 3, and the small cultists are worth 1. And you're gonna see who has the most around each of the different shrines. Yeah, shrines. They're shrines, I think.
They're shrines.
Altars or shrines.
Yeah.
And the one who has the most, get that tile, and it's worth the number of victory points that's on it. And the player with the most victory points is the winner. And that is basically what you do in this game. So what did you think of Towers of Amharb?
It's a really simple concept.
Yes.
It's really simple. But actually moving the disc sizes in a clever way to like set up, think a little ahead, but you can't think too much ahead because you have to like respond to what your opponents are doing.
Yes.
I think that's clever. And the first time I was just like, oh, I want to do more on that, but now I set the tiniest piece there, so no, I can't do it like.
So to move that away and then do this.
Yeah. So you have to like think some back and forth, and I really like that. And also you want to get symbols on the tiles that you put on, so you can do like
the special abilities.
the special abilities. And also you kind of have to, you want to get your tower in like high so that you don't have to pay so much.
Yeah, because there's a payment, that's true.
Yeah.
There's a payment depending on how many cultists that are adjacent to the one you're placing. I forgot that.
Yeah, so you want to build your tower high, but having your your whole stack in one place kind of gives you some limits to
Less
what to do.
possibilities, yeah.
I really like it's clever. It feels clever.
Yeah, so I really enjoy the pure thing here.
Yeah.
And it also is an abstract game. We already talked about abstract game this review. It is an abstract game that works really well with more players because it's super quick.
Yeah.
You're playing, I think you have like 11 of these cultists, and each of your turn is just move a disc, and then that disc now corresponds to 2 rows. Place a cultist in one of those rows, maybe do a special ability, and then it's next player's turn.
Yeah.
And that's it. And you do that in maybe half an hour with 3-4 players.
Yeah.
It's quick, and then takes almost as long to count out the points. But it's kind of another like a real majority thing where you try to be clever, and you have this restriction basically on where you can place them.
Yeah.
And I enjoy that they have taken this concept of a logic puzzle like the Towers of Brahma and turn it basically upside down and make Towers of Amharb. Did you see what I did there? Upside down. I had to explain a joke again because that's what I do, because my jokes are so clever that people don't understand their jokes.
Oh, help me.
Or maybe they're just so bad.
Yeah.
So, yeah. I actually like this one quite a bit.
Yeah.
This is one I want to keep in the collection.
Yeah, I think you like this more than me too. I think
That's-
that the abstracts, you liking the games more than me, that's the common theme of this.
This is
video.
it's a tagline. I like it more than you.
Yeah.
But yeah, this is the first of the 3 we have talked about so far that I want to keep.
Yeah.
Because I feel like it flows quick. I feel like it is still doing something different in a
Yeah.
cool way. But it's not an amazing game. It's not a game that I will be like, oh, I want to play this again. But it's a game that I like the idea of maybe play again sometime.
Sometime in the future.
It sounds horrible to be us. Like this, that's a game I want to keep. A game that I like the idea of maybe being able to play sometime.
But I really like it. I like the simple concept, but they have made it really interesting. And placing where you really want to place versus the best place to actually where you can afford to place, and wanting to like grab the best spots in the beginning, but when shall you like go with the big cultists and get like
And also trying to get the same symbol so you can do your special ability. And yeah, it is really simple, but I think it's interesting enough.
Yeah, and I think it does some unique things that I haven't seen before, and I enjoy that.
If you're a fan of abstracts and you want to play an abstract that's good with more than 2, I think you should check this out.
Yeah, but it's not mind-blowing. I'm going to give it a 6.5.
Cool. I think I'm going to give this a 7.
Yeah.
It is a good game, above average, but nothing super amazing. But a game I like the idea of being able to maybe play again sometime in my life. That's like the new tagline. Yes. So that's that one.
Yep.
We have one more because, as you remember in the beginning of the video, we promised you 4 reviews.
And what will the last one be?
Oh, that's gonna be so
Oh.
huge surprise because you
Drum
have seen,
roll.
like, yeah, you saw it in the thumbnail.
Maybe
if you
we
saw
should
that.
like do a cliffhanger with. Oh, you spoiled it already.
Oh yeah, sorry. Oh, watch next time on Board Gaming Ramblings after the commercial.
Oh, we don't
And
have
we're
a
back.
commercial.
No, we're back now.
Yeah, we're back
It was
now.
a really small one, and here we have Paris New Eden.
Yeah, we do.
It's a new board game from Marigo. It is a dice drafting game where you are in Paris in the future. Something strange happened, and there was some strange vegetation that just happened to start growing, and then everything got destroyed. That's the theme, and you are playing this dice drafting game where you are playing 4 rounds a year of the city, basically trying to build up Paris by helping different citizens to put them into your refugee and help them to have food and all that kind of thing. So you're drafting from different locations, you're drafting the dice because they have different kind of characters on them or villagers, and also when you draft from a place you get that action. Kind of a backwards worker placement.
Yeah.
So you're not doing worker placement, you're doing worker removal and then getting that action. So you do that, and then you, after you have done all the actions, you will go through all the buildings that are out on the board or under the board. There's buildings for each different character, and the player who has the most of that character on their chits that they got this round and their dice will get the first pick of a building, and then the second one will get a building, and then the other players won't get buildings, and those buildings will give you more villagers. They will give you some equipment that you might need to do quests, and yeah, after that you're gonna see if you can manage to do one of the quests, because there will now be the 3 quests on the board, and 2 of them are gonna get flipped. There's gonna be one more quest which says you need to have like 4 of the red ones and 4 of the blue ones. I don't remember their names. 4
And
brawlers.
there's also no
There's brawlers.
blues.
4 brawlers and 3 scholars. I think that's
Blue.
the name of 2 of them.
No. Green, purple, red. Yeah.
Yeah, the blues.
colours.
Yeah, there are some other colors, but they are not on the quests.
Yeah.
And then after that, you see how many people you have. You have it on a track, and you need to pay an amount of food depending on the amount of people you have, and you get an amount of extra points.
Yeah.
So those are the biggest point givers. Also, you can get some mission cards, which gives you points as well.
Yeah.
So it's a pretty straightforward, very light Euro game.
Yeah.
But is it fun?
I think some parts were interesting.
Mm-hmm.
I really like the balancing that I need that die because I need that guy to get these cards afterwards.
Yeah.
But I really don't need that action right now. So should I take a suboptimal action, or should I take the optimal action but don't get the guy I need? And sometimes you can like do both, but sometimes you have to like, oh, I want to do that, and then it's your turn, and you did what I was trying to do. Yeah, I think that's cool.
So yeah, I think like there's nothing wrong with this game. Like that's
You
always
know the rating is going to be sky high when you say
that's
it like
high
that.
praise. There's
Yes.
nothing wrong with this game. No, it's a solid game. Like my biggest issue is it's just too light. Like it doesn't feel like my decisions are really hard. It's like if I have a mission card that says I need 5 green dudes, then I'm gonna try to draft green dice because I need to get more cards with green dudes on them,
Yeah.
and to get more than you. And also you have like this bat that you can take, which makes you win ties. And there's a lot of ties in this game because it's not gonna be like, oh, I have 1 green and you have 16. No, it's
Yeah.
usually gonna be like I have 2 and you have 2. And maybe you have a joker you can use, but maybe you want to use them for something else. To have that bat is really powerful, almost too powerful. Like it almost like the first thing somebody's gonna do is to take that bat, and
Take it right off the bat. I'm sorry.
take the bat right off the bat, like
Yes.
a Mr. Hat. Boom.
Oh yeah.
That's like me just
That
dropping
was
some lines.
improvising. You got that.
Yes.
But I also like that you want to get the cards. You want to have the buildings, but
Mm-hmm.
sometimes you don't want more people in your village because you have to feed them all.
Pay more food.
And you want to get the points for the
points, yes.
food, and yeah, you got 3 farmers and 2 food, and you are on a space that you need to pay 6 food, and then you didn't get it. There is some different interesting elements to this game, and I like picking these. You can pick these scoring cards during in one action space, you can get more scoring cards.
Yeah.
I'm building towards
You
that.
draw 3 cards and you pick one.
Yeah.
So it's not like completely random
Not
what you
completely
get.
random. I like that. But other than that, it didn't capture me as much.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's not that interesting, but it's simple. If that's
Yeah.
the people they want to reach, I think they are reaching them.
Yeah, because the game looks beautiful.
Yeah.
I like the artwork. I like the
the
components.
artwork is really nice.
Super great. And I think that for a crowd that likes lighter games, this is going to be a nice one because it's solid.
Yes.
It's a solid design. There's nothing wrong. I feel like the bat maybe might be a bit overpowered. But other than that, it's not like something wrong with the game.
No.
But it's just not for me. Me particularly, I didn't really have fun playing it.
No, I wasn't bored, but I wasn't having like the time of my life either.
I had the time of my life. And I
Yes.
never felt this way before.
Yeah, so I didn't have that
No,
then.
with this game.
Yeah, but I think someone that has if this was in the beginning when we were not playing a lot of
Yes,
games, I would probably like this
I
very
think we
much.
would, yeah.
It's some player interaction though, because
Is there?
yeah, because
No,
you
we're
can
just
like
trying to do the best for you. Like if I need
Yeah.
to get more of that, there is player interaction in that I want to have more blue guys than you.
yeah, but
Is there
you
any
can
more? Is it?
yeah you can like go to the space where you can turn over missions
Oh, yeah.
and just like I see you have more red guys, I'm going to do it impossible
Yeah,
for
so
you
so
too.
I did that because I knew I wasn't be able to do any of the missions. So I was like, okay, which ones are the most
Like
logical that you might do?
yeah.
Flipping that, yeah. So that makes sense. So, but it's just like that's kind of like a mechanism for being able to catch up to players who did a lot of missions.
And also, if you have like these Joker guys,
Mm-hmm.
you're kind of like, oh, I can win over you this time, and then maybe not win over the other players
Mm-hmm.
that way. You have to choose, like, I think that's interesting though. I don't feel like there's too much conflict in this game. I'm just saying that there is some interaction.
Yeah. So not too much to say. It's a solid game, just a bit too light and not too interesting for us.
Yeah, I agree.
So what are you gonna rate it?
I'm gonna rate it a 6, I guess. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And I'm gonna rate it a 6 as well.
Yeah.
So that's four reviews in one video. That's the end of the video, right?
Yeah, it is.
Awesome. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't subscribed to our channel yet, please do so. It's free. And click the bell button to get notifications every time we put out a new video. Thank you so much for watching. I'm Johannes.
And I'm Suna.
And you've been watching Board Gaming Ramblings. And bye-bye.